Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us for a pretty special event in my life and perhaps, and I hope, in your lives too. And that's because we are going to be talking about your journey to financial wellness. It is a client-centered program that we believe can make a difference in a lot of people's lives. So to get started, I will just go through some of our most commonly asked questions, along with a few suggestions for you. So we do have a chat box, and if you have any questions, you can click on that chat box and you'll see these instructions too. But we also have a question box where you can ask questions throughout the presentation, and we will answer those at the end of the webinar. Um, we don't share slides, they are proprietary, but we do post the recording within the next few days on our website, on our Facebook page, and on our Financial Social Work YouTube channel. If you have any technical issues, and we really hope you don't, this is where you can click because we don't do the tech. We use GoToWebinar, and we rarely have any problems, but you never know, right? So let's go ahead. The reason I'm so excited to have you with me today is because this is the kind of dream come true for me. I've worked a long and hard time to get to this particular moment in time to share with you this comprehensive, in-depth program. Uh, and it has been a dream that I've devoted many, many years to creating. It is based on over 23 years of research and experience. And now we have this program that we can offer to men and women struggling with financial problems and stress anywhere in the country, in the world. These men and women have the opportunity to have a really, truly comprehensive, in-depth program where they can learn how to take control of their money, gain control of their lives, and work to achieve greater financial wellness. So I just mentioned the fact that um, this is based on all these years that since I created this over 23 years ago, is based on the fact that we here at the Center for Financial Social Work know that no one really chooses to have money problems, but most people do. And there just aren't enough places for people to turn to get the kind of help that they need. And that's why we have this program to offer. So it is based on all those years of experience, all of us here at the Center for Financial Social Work, all the speaking around the country, around the world, and some informal research where you can see these answers that a lot of people felt that it's just difficult to engage clients on the topic of money, and we know that for a fact. And a lot of people feel there's just not enough time to go in depth. We also know that it takes time, and you'll be hearing all about that as we go forward to really create sustainable long-term financial behavioral change. And so, yes, there are too many other problems that we in the helping fields have to address. And so you can see the rest of those answers, and we'll keep going forward. We're going to start with a poll today. So why do so many people experience financial stress? Let me go ahead and pull up that poll. Okay, and I'm going to launch it. Get you all awake and alert and engaged. So, I believe you can pick as many as you feel are appropriate. Right, about 50% of you have voted. See if we can get some more of you involved. Very interesting responses. I like to wait for about 80% of you. We're at 75%. I'm going to go ahead and give you 3 more seconds. I'm going to count them down and we will close it and I will share the responses with you. Okay. If anybody else wants to vote, we're at 79%. All right. You want to take me to 80. Let's take a look at this. Let me share that with you then. So, most of you thought they have no idea how to manage their money. Actually, there is no wrong answer here. I actually think that all of those answers are correct. I was curious to see what you thought. People don't have any idea how to manage their money, and they are ashamed of their financial circumstances. And 50% of you say that they're disconnected from their money. And that's a really big problem. I talk about it from time to time on our various webinars because we don't see our money, we don't touch it, and it's so much easier than to avoid it and be disconnected from it. It's not good, but it's a reality. And so many people blame money for all of their problems. Of course, it's not the money that's the problem. And people are incredibly afraid to find out how much debt they have. When I've worked with clients and they've finally pulled together their various debts, they can talk about it, but they very rarely total it. They really don't want to see the total number. Okay, so that's why people experience financial stress according to the poll. And a couple more reasons, and the most overwhelming one, I think, is how overwhelmed people are by their money. And they don't know what to do about it. They don't know where to go to get help. And there's so many issues, and they're all so different. There's taxes, there's credit cards, there's rent, there's running out of money before payday. It's a lot, and it is very overwhelming. So, the good news is that no one can or needs to know everything or the same things about money. And that's one of the ways that I think we fail clients, is that we don't understand and aren't able, don't have the time, don't have the resources to address the differences among different populations and clients. We need to remember that not everyone needs to know everything or the same things. However, everyone does need to know certain things about money. And that's where we really want to tune in, because what those certain things are is different for each person. So absolutely, a budget is one of the most important financial tools we have available to us. But clients and most people see it as punitive. They think they did wrong. They don't want to really be tied down to a budget. We need different ways of engaging clients and helping them to understand what they need to know and do to be successful individually. Because solving your money problems is absolutely, positively not a one size fits all. And that's why very often we lose clients, because we start to try to engage them with that old B word for budget. And instead of engaging them, very often we lose them. So it needs to be more individualized. But how can we do that? Sounds pretty difficult, right? Well, what we need to do is empower clients. Now, I know that you all know that and understand it, but what we've done is develop this method to help clients be more empowered to know what they need and want from their money. So I am going to show you how we're going to do that. We're going to start by helping clients and loved ones change their relationship with themselves. Because unhealthy relationships, regardless of whether it's food, substances, people, or money, they result from an unhealthy relationship with self. And as we go through this, you'll see how these pieces all come together. So, changing relationship with self, then changing the conversation. Well, for lots of people, there's no conversation to change because even as we are about to enter the third decade of the 21st century, we still don't talk about money. And unfortunately, if we talk about money, it's not in healthy ways. So we need to start that conversation. We need to be able to have it in more healthy ways. We need to help people have the terms and the concepts to discuss it. We need to change that narrative from once upon a time to happily ever after, because there's no happily ever afters without a lot of effort. So we have changing the conversation, changing the thinking. That's definitely the psychosocial component of our program. And it's about the thoughts, feelings, attitudes, and beliefs that we all have about money. If we can't get to a point where we have the insight and the understanding about where they came from, how helpful or harmful they are, we'll never be able to expand on the good ones and eliminate the bad ones. So it is definitely about changing the thinking. And finally, it's about changing behavior. Behavior is how we earn, spend, save, share, and borrow. And each of those four components makes a difference because we have where we are now and we are here and we want to be in a better place. So where is that better place? It's there. Yes, it's there. So you can see my little graphic of the sad little girl moving to that happy little girl. And to be quite honest with you, I was the sad little girl and I wasn't happy being that sad little girl and not knowing enough about money management. And that's actually how all of this eventually came to be 20 some years later. But getting from here to there is a process. And there's definitely numerous steps that need to be taken to get from here to there. So, what does that look like? Well, it's why we're here to introduce my money, myself. Think about that. If any of you would like to share with us what you think my money, myself means, you can go ahead and put that into the question box because a lot of time and effort went into naming this program. And if you really stop to think about it, so much of our lives revolve around money. How much we have, how much we need, how much we owe. So this is a program about our relationship with money and with self. And we could not come up with a better name for it than My Money, Myself. It is a long-term approach to financial wellness because change doesn't happen overnight. It absolutely happens over time. So this is the model or the process I've been telling you about. It's the financial change process of My Money, Myself. It is interactive, introspective, and strengths-based. It is client-centered, long-term, sustainable change that we need. So changing your relationship is about self-discovery, self-care, and self-healing. Changing the conversation is how we talk about money. Changing the thinking is about knowing which of our thoughts, feelings, attitudes, and beliefs actually benefit us and eliminating the ones that don't. And changing the behavior is changing how we earn, spend, save, share, and borrow. Now, those of you who have been at previous webinars or who are graduates of the Financial Social Work certification, you're familiar with a lot of these pieces for sure. And we're going to talk just briefly about what financial social work is so you can make the connection between how we have implemented these models into our client program. So what does that look like? Well, this was posted in our Women's Money Support Group. You can see it was posted on August 13th, and you do have to ask to join that group, but you are welcome to go there and see it. And this was a client of mine. I did not know she was going to be posting this, but I started working with her quite some time ago, and she was in a very desperate position. And it took her a long time to heal. It took her a lot of tears, a lot of patience, but she is a miraculous story because, and I am in awe of her, quite frankly, but she used everything we did together. And instead of having a wedding with her partner, they bought a house, and then they bought another house, and then they actually bought a third house, and they used those houses for rental income. Trust me, she had a tremendous amount of debt when we started working together. And she writes here that they are building their lives with intention around money and how to enjoy having it. She says that she used to think having money was in some way selfish, but now she knows how happy it makes her to be so giving and generous with her money and her time. And that's absolutely the woman that she has become. And then for any of you who would like to know more about some of our other testimonials, you can always go to our Facebook page where we have a couple hundred testimonials, and on our website there are testimonials, people talking about how they've benefited from the work that they've learned and done through financial social work. So I wanted to talk briefly about the actual financial social work model, because again, I want you to understand that our client model is based specifically on everything we know and have learned from financial social work, that it's the relationship, everyone, clients, ourselves, that we have with our money and with ourselves. And that's what drives our financial behavior, which I've pointed out is how we earn, spend, save, share, and borrow. And it's that behavior that determines everyone's financial circumstances. And my little dancing arrow shows This is where financial behavioral change happens. These things have to fall into place, and I call that the Wolfson Financial Wellness Model. So an overview, this is a different way of looking at it. It's an ongoing model. And I've been talking about that for many years now. And it's so critical to this client model of My Money Myself. It's ongoing financial education, motivation, validation, and support. It's about hope, help, healing, and wellness. So you see on the inner circle, the ongoing component, the experiential. We don't tell people what to do. They experience it and are able to internalize it and use it in their own lives. It is strengths-based. It is very introspective, and it works individually and with groups. So our framework is a psychosocial approach because thoughts, feelings, attitudes, and behavior with money are the foundation for our relationship with our money and ourself. It's a life cycle perspective. Money management is a core component of a healthy life. And we have a human rights structure because we know and believe that everyone is entitled to financial well-being. So this becomes an important component for you to understand because we did that model, the component of change, changing the narrative, changing the relationship with money and self, the conversation, the thinking, and the behavior. And this is what it looks like. It starts with recognizing the need to change. Until we recognize that need, no one is going to ever make the commitment. And commitment is really a critical step. And all of these pieces are tied in to financial social work and to the My Money Myself program. So it's about making that commitment, and we ask for it in writing. And it's about acquiring the knowledge and the skills to know how to manage money and life better. And it's about learning from the past and planning for the future. The past has so many lessons to teach us. It's about knowing how to prepare for setbacks because setbacks happen. They just happen. They're very real. And the more prepared for it we are, the more quickly we'll be able to cope and deal with them and move on with our lives. It's important to maintain motivation. Very often there's some event that causes us, some experience to motivate us to change. But how do we maintain that motivation and keep moving in the direction of financial wellness? We need to share that journey. Anytime we share something, we strengthen the positives and reduce the negatives. And it's a powerful, powerful piece of change. We have to allow time. I said very early on today that change doesn't happen overnight. It happens over time. So we need to keep people motivated, prepared for setbacks. Each of these pieces matters. We have to trust the process. It's easy to become impatient, but all of this is a process. And we've taken all of these factors into consideration in developing the My Money Myself program and stay connected. So hopefully you'll hold on to these various thoughts and concepts as we get into telling you the various components of My Money Myself. Before we do that, I want to show you that when we put these pieces together, that's how we experience change, personal change, financial change. They work in tandem. So financial social work is about making peace with your money, as is the program we're talking about. When we're at peace with our money, the world is a much, much better place. Money is not our enemy. So, another poll. Which is or are true about financial wellness? So let me pull up this poll and give you the chance to take it. Okay. Gonna give you some time on this one. I think you'll appreciate the responses. A little over 50% of you have voted. I'm going to give you a few more seconds and then I'll close it and we will keep going. All right. I'll count it down to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So pretty much even across the board. And that's because all of these things are true. They're just all true. Financial wellness is a lot of different things, and all of them are good and they're all positive. So let me go ahead and hide that poll. We'll have one more poll at the very end of the webinar. So My Money Myself is a journey to financial wellness. It is about learning, who am I? I'm this person. I have so many factors in my life. I have so many things going on, and I'm so busy, and I just don't have time or want to deal with my money. Not a good idea. So, My Money Myself is a very immersive experience. We came up with as many ways to keep clients engaged as possible, because I do believe this is from Benjamin Franklin. I've also seen it from Buddha, but it is a very powerful quote. If you tell me, I forget. If you teach me, I may remember. But if you involve me, I will learn. And that's what we're trying to do with My Money Myself. And here is what it looks like. There are 5 components. It starts with the interactive monthly program, which is content driven. It's engaging, it's insightful, it's personal, it's educational. It's the content piece of the program. Then we add a monthly coaching group. This is all included. The group is facilitated by experts, and we use it to build community and sense of community. I believe in that previous poll, we talked about how isolating financial problems can be for so many reasons. So we use this opportunity not only to add new information to the monthly workbook, but to build community and help people learn from each other and know that they aren't alone. Then we have the private Facebook group where we use motivation, encouragement, hope, and support. And we also do this component, which is recognition. And we're going to go into each of these 5 components in a few minutes. And so the recognition validates success and reinforces accountability. And last but certainly not least, we look at relationship with money and self, which is so foundational to financial wellness. So that's the piece with healing and wellness. So that's the my money, myself model. So some of the basics. My money, myself goes beyond dollars, cents, debt, and budgets. Remember, we need to find ways to engage clients to help them want to create this change in their lives, to inspire them to greater financial wellness. So there is so much more to that than dollars, cents, debt, and budgets. Because we explore those fundamentals of financial well-being that I mentioned before, those thoughts, feelings, attitudes, and beliefs. They come from our past, from our money story. And if they're holding us back, we need to understand that and eliminate those behaviors and thoughts and create healthier ones. And we address financial behavior, how we earn, spend, save, share, and borrow. If you remember, earlier on, I talked about the fact that not everyone has to know everything there is to know about money, but we do need to know certain things about money. And depending on where you or your client or someone else you love who's taking the program is, they may need to focus on earning. Some may need to look at their spending habits. Some may need to adjust or begin saving. So these are what we've woven into this program. So we have multiple methods of engagement, and that equals greater participation. The content we include is kind of portioned out, and it adapts to most learning styles and ages. It is self-paced, self-learning, non-judgmental content. And we know that it is designed to meet clients where they are, wherever they are in that life cycle of financial wellness. So who is it for? Well, there is a belief that we can't say that is for everyone. So, and the list would be too long anyway. So we're just going to say it's for anyone that has trouble paying their bills. It's for anyone that doesn't have any savings but would like to and understands the importance of having savings. It's for anyone overwhelmed by financial stress or even overwhelmed by credit card or student debt, credit card debt. Anyone experiencing financial shame or anxiety. Again, this could be a very long list. Anyone wanting to learn how to manage their money. Anyone wanting to do better, do more with his or her money and life. Again, this isn't exclusively about money. The lessons are so experiential and so designed to have you looking at your life and your money. And it matters. It matters because we have very stagnant incomes. We have predatory lenders out there preying on a lot of people, not only low income clients. We have more loan defaults. We have bankruptcies increasing, the cost of childcare and medical expenses and rent and food. They just keep going up. We have reduced benefits and adjustable mortgages that are never going to help anyone get ahead. Financial problems and stress result from many complex social and personal sources. We've talked about credit cards and the cost of food, divorce, foreclosure, healthcare, student loans, payday loans, domestic violence, the homeless crisis, and the fact that poverty does have a woman's face. Again, these can be very, very long lists also. Income volatility, unemployment, underemployment. There are a lot of ways that people end up with financial problems and stress. So none of you and none of us can address all of these or even most of them with our clients. Not enough time for sure. So we need to empower clients with the kind of insight to understand which areas they need to work at. And we know that financial problems and stress contribute to physical, emotional, and mental health problems because people with financial problems and stress are much more susceptible to physical problems. They're much more apt to experience emotional problems and more prone to experience mental health problems. We've covered some of these areas in previous webinars, and they can be found on our website and on our Financial Social Work YouTube channel if you'd like to learn a little more about how they're related. And so another why is the fact that until and unless behavior changes, nothing changes. And that's why we talk about the various components that need to change. Because when we think about money very often, we think about the dollars and cents and the debt, but there's a lot going on around money. The social influence, the piece of ourselves, our relationship with our money and ourselves, behavior, the health, the physical, psychological, emotional. There are a lot of different pieces that influence our financial wellness or lack thereof. So we call this our whole person financial health model. Again, all of this is subtly integrated into our client program, My Money, Myself. Why does it matter? It matters because financial wellness supports men and women in embracing change, reducing stress, maximizing financial strengths, minimizing financial challenges, and understanding why they have financial problems. When you understand that, you can work to reduce and eliminate them. Almost half of all Americans have trouble paying their monthly bills. 40% are financially illiterate. They have no or little savings, assets, emergency or retirement funds, or hope of a better financial future. And most of you probably know a lot of the statistics. We certainly could do the whole webinar on the statistics of the financial problems that people in this country have. But I thought we would just take a quick look at the top 5 areas where Americans do overspend. So over half of the population overspends on food. Then we have online shopping, and we are in that fa la 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 season. And actually, I do believe, isn't it today that a lot of the holiday sales begin? Because there's one less shopping week this holiday season, and we've got to get that money into the economy. And yes, I am being sarcastic. Okay, so My Money, Myself, what it does, it expands sense of self, prepares people to cope with setbacks, provides recognition and encouragement, nurtures personal growth while increasing financial well-being. Those two, the personal and the financial, they do go hand in hand. It motivates people to choose to be in a better place. It is definitely a choice. It changes lives through a uniquely comprehensive experience. It presents a non-threatening way of thinking and behaving with money. It delivers of financial information needed to make knowledge-based decisions. It's more comprehensive of an experience than an app, a book, a blog, an article, a lecture, a webinar, any of the things on this list. And I'll show you why. This is a list, and it will be on your handout, most of it, I believe. But it is client-centered. It is self-care emphasizing. It's community building, self-study, self-paced, stress reduction, focus. It has a psychosocial foundation. It's interactive and introspective, and it has a healing and wellness approach. So we have a lot of things going on in this program, although no one would really know it just to look at it, because that's how we built it. So our outcomes, we raise engagement, we teach money concepts beyond dollars, cents, that or budgets. We expand financial competence and confidence. We increase comfort level and familiarity with money. That's where it all starts. We can't Well, we can, but what happens is that, money is a very foreign concept and language for so many people when they're so stressed and so confused about it. So we want to increase that comfort level and familiarity. And it is gradual, long-term, sustainable financial behavioral change. Because if we do it too quickly, the change won't last. It's not sustainable. It reduces shame and loneliness through community building. It connects clients to relationship with money and self, promotes healing through self-examination and reflection. Recognition component motivates participation and change, and it encourages more positive and healthy financial communication. So what does it look like? Well, once someone makes the purchase, they immediately receive access to the first month's issue. They receive this welcome toolkit filled with advice and suggestions for what they can do to get the most out of the program. We start the coaching sessions with this piece, this mantra that I wrote, that just for today, I will love myself enough to face my fears, practice self-acceptance, and embrace hope. Silence my inner critic, speak my truth, and make peace with my past. Give myself permission to eliminate toxic people, beliefs, and behaviors from my life, and prepare for a better tomorrow by making friends with my money and with myself. So there are 12 monthly issues. It is a uniquely comprehensive experience. They're all very beautiful, as you can see. And each downloadable issue has new financial content, self-examination exercises, self-reflection assessment, goal setting. Everyone makes a contract for change each month, and a journaling section. And of course, there's more. We didn't delve into every single aspect of it. Then we have the Lunch and Learn coaching sessions once a month. They are real-time virtual online coaching groups where we have ourselves and other experts meeting with our journeyers. And it has the ability to deepen financial wellness work. It reduces isolation, facilitates financial wellness, provides the opportunity to learn from each other, and keeps everyone involved and engaged with their money. And it actually features different additional learning objectives beyond the monthly issues. And all of it takes place over our Zoom platform. We have our Facebook group, which is private, only for journeyers, where We'll have contests, answer questions. This is where we'll do our recognition piece, keep people motivated, play Money Myself trivia, share timely articles, and everyone is able to post and share thoughts, ideas, any difficulties they may have, or successes they've accomplished. And finally, we have our recognition component, and that's a specific method for measuring improved financial wellness, which we think is a really important piece of all of this. And we have certain milestones in debt, savings, goals, and other accomplishments that will be acknowledged weekly. It's all done by self-reporting and percentages, no specific information, which is always confidential. And at the conclusion of the one-year program, members receive a digital certification of accomplishment. And so we have lots of reasons for having the recognition component. And our final poll, as we wrap this up and get ready to take your questions, let's see. Last poll is, well, um, I have no idea. Now, this is interesting to me, really interesting to me. Okay, give you a few more seconds. All right, I'm going to close it and share it with you. Wow. Wow. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm really excited that you think the relationship with money itself is so important, because we sure do. Not so much the coaching group. I was thinking that the coaching group was a real added benefit. And actually, the workbooks are okay. So let me go ahead and show you this. This is what I thought. I was going to share with you that I think it's a process, and I think that all of the components are critical. They all make a difference, and I don't think there is one that's more important than the other. And because we all learn differently, I especially think that each one will appeal to different people for different reasons. So here's the important piece. This all-inclusive, immersive financial wellness program with all these pieces that you see there, the cost is $149 for the one-year program. However, because we are launching it today, we have a one-time only. We will never, ever offer it at 50% off again. So here's what you need to know. Through November 30th, it's only $75. And if you go onto the website to make the purchase, you need to use this discount code, MMM Launch. That is the discount code through the 30th. to receive 50% off. So jot that down, and we will finish up and see. Vonda, are there any questions?
Yeah, we have a few. We could definitely take some more, but we have a few.
By the way, if you'd like to order multiple programs, you just need to chat us from the Financial Social Work website, or you can email me. All right. So we do have some handouts for you. So go ahead over and look where the handouts are. And there's actually one, there's two parts to it. So you can download that. And then let me explain the 20 free giveaways. As soon as we finish this, Eric, our tech person, he has a program that will randomly select 20 people who attended this session. He will then post those on the website, and he will email each of the 20 recipients. And you will have a code so that you can go in and purchase the program for free. So go ahead. What kind of questions do you have, Vonda?
Let's see. I'm actually starting from the bottom. So how would the My Money Myself program benefit those who are already coaching clients in the area of finances?
Well, I guess it would depend on how much time you have with each of your clients. This is, an immersive program. So every week, our members receive every month, our members receive content, and they then can join the coaching group, and they have access to other people taking and making this journey through Facebook. And then we have a recognition component so that they can feel good about each step they take, not just, paying off all their debt, but every piece of that journey. It's a very different approach to one-on-one coaching. And many people, can't afford individual coaching sessions. I hope that's helpful.
Okay, staying on the topic of coaching, can financial coaches join the financial monthly group? I'm not sure if they mean the My Money Myself or if they mean the monthly coaching group.
Well, if that person is still on, they can go ahead and explain what they're asking. The coaching group is for the journeyers, the people making their journey using My Money Self to financial wellness. So each month we will be coaching on a different topic than in the monthly contact magazine piece of the program. So I'm not sure what that question addresses. If you're still on, go ahead and clarify it for us.
Um, well, I think there might have been just a little bit of confusion around the last poll. So someone stated that the relationship with money and self is part of the framework, not a feature of the program you are selling. So I think there probably was just a little bit. I think everybody was used to just choosing all of the answers, multiple selections, but this last poll just had a little I think, a little confusion around the feature
Okay, that's a good
of the
point.
program. Mm-hmm. Um,
It is a foundational piece of everything. It's only in the past few years that people really started talking about relationship with money. Of course, we were talking about it a long time ago, but most people aren't talking about relationship with self. And it's that relationship with self. If you don't feel good about yourself, if you're struggling with your self-esteem, self-confidence, um, you're not likely to put in the time or the effort required to improve your financial circumstances. That's why we have this very holistic and comprehensive approach. I just was curious to see, how people, felt about it. And again, as I said, they all work together, those components. So I did ask which people thought was most important, but kind of a trick question, I guess, because I think they all work together. That was, that, Vonda, that was our
mm-hmm.
goal in creating it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Don't really have that many questions. Let's see. Someone is saying that they appreciate the program, but they think it's too costly for their clients. That they love all the information that you have brought, because it will help me see things that my clients need.
Well, for one thing, right now, it's only $75. For another thing, we have organizations that will buy it for their clients. Um, as everyone on this call knows, if you work in an organization, if you're in private practice, everything costs money. This took years to develop. The technology alone behind all of it, it's a very reasonable cost for everything that's included. And the goal is to make it as accessible to as many people as possible. Over the years, we've done a lot of free programs. But if you do everything for free, then you're out of business and can't do anything for anybody. Unfortunately, as we
Um,
all know.
so I did want to actually go in, and someone says that and it went so fast that they actually thought it was a really great price for the program. But I kind of like to crunch the numbers a little bit, because sometimes I think that you have to look at what the program and the long-term effects. If you look at a program like this, actually over the course of time, actually putting more money in people's pockets, if you will. But if you crunch the numbers, especially with the discount, you are looking at essentially $6.25 a month. And that is, in my opinion, a very small investment to make in one's financial wellness, your financial health. And then you look at the benefits of what the program will bring to you over time, will amount way more than $6.25. And so, I have to agree with you too. There are agencies who have budgets, who can opt to do this for clients. But even if a client was still on a very, a limited income, then when you look at it at this price, and then again, even once that price is over, I think it's very appropriately priced. But that's just my opinion.
Well, thank you for your opinion. I appreciate it. Anything else before we finish up?
Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. No. Hold
Okay.
on, they come in so quickly, so hold on. I have to agree with what Vonda is saying. If I have a client invested enough to suggest signing up, I will also help them figure out how to do it as the price is quite reasonable.
Well, thank you for that
Thank you.
input. Um, we have always tried to make all of our materials to price them as reasonably as possible. The certification is $595. The programs that are out there now are thousands of dollars and can take years to complete. It's just always been what we do to try and make this information accessible.
One more comment. If you can invest a little over $6 a month to save yourself possibly hundreds, what is the question? I totally agree.
Well,
Thank you.
thanks. I appreciate everybody coming because that's an important piece of the work we do. We do appreciate that. Everyone has their own values and priorities. We all know that, all of us who work in the helping fields. And we do know there is nothing remotely like this from any organization with, who have all kinds of grants, which we don't, all kinds of funding. No one's ever tried to put anything um, of this nature together to really focus on sustainable long-term client financial behavioral change. And it is, we have no doubt, it's very life-changing and life-affirming. So thanks to you who have supported us, and thank you to everyone for joining us. It was a special experience for me, and I hope you feel that you got a lot out of it. And we will have Eric um, draw those names and put them on the website and contact the winners. And I hope some of you who had those nice things to say won. Thanks, everybody. Have a beautiful rest of the day. Bye now.
Bye bye.